I would suggest that all of you, if you have any questions, can reserve the questions for the last 10 minutes. So we will go on a continuous flow right from the time quotation is initiated for a project till the project closure, and after that we will be taking some questions. We will also cover certain financial aspects of this, but the more focus will be on how you create a project, how you run a project, how you do the subcontracting, etc. Okay, so let me go to the first slide. The first slide talks about creating project quotation. Now, when we say creating project quotation, I know that in many companies today they send you the BOQ through Excel. So the same BOQ can be downloaded into the system, and we create what we call as a work breakdown structure, or WBS in short. This work breakdown structure is the core of the project control. So it lists down all the activities, all the plan of actions to be taken, including the resources which are to be allocated for doing these projects, for doing these activities. And each of the activity line has got a cost and has got a revenue part. So the cost goes into budgetary control and the revenue part goes for the billing. So the work breakdown structure we will show you soon how flexible and how easy it is, and it looks exactly like an MS Project file, so that it is compatible with MS Project. Okay. Now the advantage of making a quotation from our system is that at that point when you make the quotation itself, you will exactly know what is the kind of project P&L, meaning what is the profit which is expected, what is the contribution which we can get. All those things are analyzed, and this is internally sent for a workflow approval before we submit the quotation. And then the quotation can be submitted to the customer via email, or taken a print and submitted. And once the quotation is approved or revised, you can do the revision. Once it is approved, then that gets converted directly into a project budget. Project budget and a project file is created. Okay. And once a project file is created and the WBS gets converted into budget, the budget figures gets locked. So this can be exempted only by the top management with specific approval and workflow authority. Okay. And then we start executing the project. While executing the project, we can also have subcontracting. For example, one portion of your entire project you want to subcontract to somebody. So you can create a subcontract within a project. Obviously, you can have multiple subcontracts within a project, and each subcontract can be given to a vendor for handling. Only the cost of that is booked into the project directly. And when we start executing the project, we can do booking of the various cost elements. Okay, cost elements as a typical project company includes item cost, resources cost, and direct expenses which are attributable to the project. So all the costs go with a project code and are sitting in the project file, as well as hitting the financial system through general ledger. Okay, and once that is done, we can have a procurement management from within the project, in the sense that when you can raise a requisition for an item from within the project file, within the project module, and a purchase requisition goes and a purchase is made, and all throughout the project ID is maintained, so that when the purchase item is expensed or booked to the project, it is automatically booked into the project cost. Okay, a complete procurement management is inbuilt, which has got request for quotation, comparison of multiple quotations, and picking up the best item and releasing the order to the vendor. All these things are incorporated into the product. Now, more important than this is the scheduling of the resources. Now, when we say resource scheduling, the beauty is that you can schedule your own resources, or you can also have contractors, independent contractors, as a part of your employee master file. Though it will not be a part of your payroll, they will not be part of your payroll, but they can be independent vendors. And for these independent vendors also, you can do the resource booking. So as if they are available full time for you to do the job. For example, you might outsource a particular job to an individual, and this individual can be a part of your resources. for this particular project. Okay, and once we do the scheduling, obviously there is a nice calendaring so that you don't do mismatching of the schedule. You don't do mismatching of the schedule. So one person, if he is already booked for Jan, you cannot double book him for Jan again. Okay, then we have the timesheet entry. Now here comes the advantage. The timesheet entry can be done from any place where you have a mobile app or where you have a connectivity. So even from the project sites, people can enter the timesheet which go against the project and update the cost of the employees based on the number of hours they work. Obviously, the system also considers overtime, and you can book a special rate and all that. That is taken care automatically. So once this is done and the project is progressing, then when you achieve milestone, a specific milestone, or when you are doing monthly billing, you can do the billing, and the system also has a very nice billing rule. Okay, so you can set up the billing rule based on either milestone or monthly or work in progress, and then the system automatically generates the revenue invoice for the customer, which gets posted. Now, once all these costs are booked and revenues are booked in the system, you can do the analysis of the actual P&L and comparison with the budget. So this is the whole idea behind this software, apart from time management, which is handled through MS Project. So the critical advantage which a company will gain is that during the execution of the project itself, we ensure that there is no cost spillover. And we can also track what is the cost to complete at any point of time and take remedial action. Okay, next. Challenges of construction accounting. Of course, project accounting is a very broad terminology. Out of that, we have taken today an example of a construction company. The reason is because there are a lot of construction companies in Middle East, especially in UAE, who might be looking for kind of a solution. And construction accounting is very specific because the accounting is centered around a project, but the construction can be in multiple sites. Okay, so there will be a lot of transfer of material from the main stores to multiple stores, construction sites, etc. So the data entry will happen from individual construction sites, either from the site or remotely, and all of this data is accumulated in one place. Okay, and each construction project has got some unique requirements. Obviously, there will be variation classes, there will be reduction in scope, increase in scope. All this will have to be considered, and your budgets have to be altered. So every time a budget is revised, it has to go through a proper workflow approval so that that is handled and captured. Tracking the job cost accurately is critical. So when we say job cost, we talk about personnel cost, travel cost, transportation costs, etc. This is important because project-wise or job-wise, you need to know the profitability. You need to know where you're going, right? So cost and availability of inputs also change. Subcontracting monitoring is very critical. Okay, and long-term contracts extend beyond 1 year, and therefore you have made a budget, a financial budget, usually is for a year, but you can extend it through the life of the project. So for example, if a budget exceeds your one financial year, you can still have the balance of the budget carried over throughout the life of the project. So these are all critical challenges of a construction company. And obviously there is a concept called revenue recognition for the finance people, about which I will talk at the last, because it's a highly accounting related topic. This revenue recognition is something we can take last, revenue recognition and overhead allocation. Okay. Right. What does job costing involves? Collection of cost. So as I told you already, costs are coming from various quarters, from purchase, from timesheet, everything. So we need to collect all the costs and then make a proper entry into the system. Plus, based on the work completion percentage, we have to value the work completion based on surveyor certificate or work completion percentage have to be booked into the system. So this will decide what is the revenue which you are going to recognize into the system. Okay. What are the costs incurred in local currency, labor or manpower use, monitoring and controlling of timesheets? Yeah, these are the critical points here. Okay. Right. Now we go into the product, the concept of how a project management is working. I've already spoken in detail about this, but I will quickly go through this. So project management and accounting has got three major components: initiate, execute, and analyze a project. So when you initiate a project, you can make a quotation and create the quotation using WBS, and assign workers and categories, and create project contract. Now a project contract is a document which is required where you put the billing rules, milestone and billing rules, based on which you can do the monthly billing or quarterly billing or milestone billing. Okay, and the project budget is created at this point, and then when you are executing the project, we are entering all the expenses and booking the revenue into the project, and then we do the analysis of the performance. So these are the three major verticals of the project management accounting, which we will see soon. Yeah. Okay, we have spoken about this. How do you initiate a project quotation? So you create a project quotation and convert it into a quotation for the customer, make a WBS. I think we have covered all these points, Naren. You can go forward. Yeah. Yes, I think we have covered all this. We can skip directly, go to the project file. Yeah. Okay. So now we will go to the actual software and we will show you how it's going to look like. Just give us a few minutes. Let it start the session. Okay, so this is the place where we can make a quotation. So we will show you one sample quotation which we have already created. Yeah. Okay, we have created a quotation for a company called PQR Head Office. Okay, and if you notice very carefully, this project quotation is built on the basis of a work breakdown structure, which we will show you right now. So this is the WBS which we have been talking about, which is the core of the control activities of the project. So we have created a WBS for a construction company, divided into multiple phases with dependencies and all that. And you can also see that there are multiple phases with which we have divided this: planning phase, execution phase, like that. And each of these has got individual activities. Now these activities, you have the efforts in hours, start date, end date, just like your MS project or Primavera file. And at the point of making the quotation, you don't have to specify who is going to execute the job, but only the roles. Because at the time of making the quotation, you may not know which person will do this job, but you can certainly say that this job is to be done by project manager, this project will be done by site engineer, civil engineer, etc. Now associated with this project manager, site engineer, civil engineer is the cost. So they all are the roles in the project, and they have associated costs. The cost is there is a cost and there is a corresponding selling price also. For example, the cost could be $100 per hour and the selling price could be $120 per hour. There are certain companies which cannot give line-wise selling price. No need for line-wise selling price then. We can still put a consolidated revenue. For example, the total project cost is 10 million. I don't know the line-wise revenue, but my total revenue which I have to get from this project is 15 million. So you can still do that kind of costing and WBS structure. Now the advantage of this WBS is that this WBS get automatically converted into a project budget. Now, Naren, can you show the scheduling view? This is the scheduling view. We also have the cost estimate. So if you go to the cost estimate view, it will show you what is the estimated cost for each line of activity. So this gives you the total cost and total selling price in a nutshell. the first line explains that the total cost is 151,450 and the total selling price is 334,682. Okay. Now each one is of course further broken down into its elements. Okay, and you can also incorporate relevant items. So it can contain items, resources, both and expenses. All these elements of cost are incorporated into this. You see that we have done a detailed planning, and this will exactly tally with the BOQ of the customer. So usually the BOQ is given by the customer like this. So you can download the BOQ, and for each of the element you can put the quantity, unit cost price, and selling price. The unit cost price obviously can come from item master, or if you don't have an item master, you can temporarily put the cost here itself and then purchase the item at that cost. Okay. Now usually this is done by the estimation department, who do the complete estimation of the project and give you the estimated cost, which is incorporated into the system. Okay. Can you go back, Naren? Now at this point itself, as I told you, we can see the profit and loss based on the quotation itself. Yeah. So you can see that it is giving a summary. Total cost value is 151,450 and the selling price is 334,682. Yeah, and the contribution is 54.75. So this quotation is sent for approval to the top management. The top management reviews and makes changes, and if they say yes, it is approved, then this can be submitted for a workflow for approval. And once they approve, this can be sent to the customer directly. Now, if you go down a little bit, can you go down a little bit? Yeah, you can see that whatever is the items in the system, in the WBS, okay, are all getting converted into lines. And from here, when it is converted into a project, all these lines can go to a purchase requisition also. Okay. So this is this file, whatever WBS. Can you go back to WBS again, Naren? Yeah, this WBS file can be exported directly to MS Project server file. So if you have MS Project server, this can be exported to MS Project file, and people can work on the MS Project file and send it back, and you can import it again. Okay, go back. So this quotation, assuming that it is approved, then this gets converted into a project. So can we see the project, Naren? Okay, the last, right. So the same file, the same data has been converted into a project after approval. We are assuming that the customer has approved your quotation. You see that automatically all these fields are transferred, including the WBS. And from the WBS, we can create a project budget. Can you just go down and show the project budget? Yeah. Now, remember that from the quotation stage, you actually click a few buttons and arrive at the project file, including the budget. So you can see that the cost budget of 151,450 has already come in here, and the revenue budget of 334,682 is already here. Now this becomes locked. Once the budget is approved, this is locked. Okay, and you can see that under the contract file on the left, under the project file, you have something called as subcontracting. So subcontracting is completely given outside to a vendor. Okay, it can be a part of the project. You can have as many subcontracting activities as possible. The entire subcontracting can be given to one vendor. Okay. And usually we don't monitor the subcontractor's activity. We just monitor whether the cost is exceeding. If the cost is exceeding, obviously we are not going to allow. That's a separate topic. Okay. Now coming back to this point, we are onto the project file with the budgets. Can you go back to the budget? Yeah. Now, can you show the go back to the yeah? Can you do now? The other important part is the scheduling. Okay. Now, after you get a project and after the budget is frozen, you can schedule the resources. Now, all the resources which are available will be seen, and you can staff the project. Okay. Now, obviously, you are going to start. So you can see here that the staffing has been done. Okay. So site engineer, Mr. Shastras Nawaz, Steve Jones, etc. So can you do one thing, Naren? Just go to the site engineer Shastras Nawaz and go to his reservation details. I think you already have that in another tab.
Okay, that. I'll just open it up, not an issue.
So the staffing, yeah, this is the set of resources. Yeah. Yeah, now it will show you on the left matrix all the staff in your company, including independent vendors, independent contractors, and it will show the calendar of the project, and it will show you who is available and who is not available. If somebody is partially available also, the system will tell you that he is partially available. At this point of time, you can do two things. You can make a soft booking or you can make a hard booking. You can see that here on the top, soft booking or requested and hard booking. Now, what do you mean by soft booking is that you book him temporarily, and when the project actually starts on the start date, you can make hard booking. So if you do a soft booking, that means he is not available for the other project to be executed. So he is available only for this specific project. So that is soft booking. Of course, if you do the hard booking, that means he can start booking the timesheet and all that, and he is a part of the project execution team. So this resource planning is very critical, and it's very nicely handled. It is integrating with your HR system as well. Okay, can you go down? Okay, so once you do the project scheduling, etc., then we can start executing the project. Now, when you start executing the project, you obviously will have to do two things. One is create a billing rule. A billing rule is created through a contract. Okay, for every project there has to be a contract. Okay, associated with a particular project. So we create a contract, and in that contract we create a billing schedule or a billing rule. So this billing rule can be based on many things. It can be based on milestones, like here you can see milestone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 milestones. So when you achieve that milestone, you can do the milestone 1 billing, 2 billing, 3 billing, 4 billing, etc. So automatically the invoice is generated at this point of time, and you can send it to the customer. There is also progress billing which you can do, okay, meaning percentage of completion. For example, if you have a contract which says that there is no milestone, but every 20% of completion of work as certified by the assessor, I can raise the bill. If that is the case, you can put the completion percentage as 20. So every 20 when you complete and you update the status in the system that you have completed 20% of the work, then the system will raise an invoice. Okay. Right. The system also handle retention. Can you go down a little bit down, Naren? Little down. Yeah, you can see that there is a retention also. Okay, you can have a retention percentage, right? Retention percentage could be 5 or 10. So the system keeps 5 or 10% of each invoice towards the final retention. Okay. Right. So can you go to the cost booking and the revenue booking?
Hello.
Yeah. No, can you show? Okay, let us show the P&L now.
Okay.
Yeah. Now you see that the system has got very nice quick inquiries to show the status of the project at any point of time. Okay. So it has got a P&L, work in progress, consumption, invoicing tab, all these things in one single place. So as and when you execute the job, you keep booking the cost and revenue. You keep booking the cost and revenue, and that cost and revenue can be seen here. Yeah, deviation. Yeah. So you can see that, okay, for the sake of this example, we have already booked some revenue and we have booked some cost. Okay. Now you can see that actual cost coming on the left side and the budgeted cost is coming on the middle, and the deviation is also specified here. Okay. So at any point of time, you can know what is the cost incurred versus budget. Okay. Now you can see that we have booked a revenue of 150,000 and a cost of 210 and timesheet value of 61,200. Okay. So leaving the gross margin of 88,590 at this point of time. Okay. Right. So Naren, can you go back? And sorry, can you show the P&L at this point? Sorry. Yeah. So you can see that at this point of time, whatever is the P&L is also very clear. Note that the system is showing invoiced revenue on account. That is because it is a fixed price contract. So any revenue booked from a fixed price contract goes to invoice revenue on account until you do something called as revenue recognition. The revenue recognition, let me take this opportunity to quickly explain what is revenue recognition. In a project company, what happens usually, yeah, can you go back to the slide? Yeah. Right. So in a project company, what usually happens is that initially you get an advance payment, and during the month you get an advance payment, you don't incur any cost. From second month onwards, you start incurring cost. Second month, maybe there is only cost but no revenue. Third month, there will be cost and revenue, etc. So there will be a high fluctuation between revenue and cost. Okay. So because there is a high fluctuation between revenue and cost, you have to even it out when representing it in your P&L. Okay. So this is done through a method called as revenue recognition. So it is actually recording of the difference between the billed revenue and actual expenses. Of course, whatever I am talking now is more relevant for finance and accounts related people. But in any case, this is an important concept. So we will take one more minute to explain this and then go back to the software. Yeah, can you go to the next slide? So it is done based on a completion percentage. Okay, revenue is recognized using percentage of work complete. So percentage of work complete is taken as work completion percentage equal to actual cost by budgeted cost, and expected revenue is the budgeted revenue into work completion as per the previous line. So this is being booked. So when you are moving, when you are doing invoicing and then do the revenue recognition, the revenue is recognized to this percentage, to this extent. So that is the concept of revenue recognition used in most of the companies, and this point will be more relevant for finance and accounting people. Okay, can you go back to the software? Okay. Naren, can you show them the variation? We have a cost control variation, right? So profit and loss we have shown. Okay. Now this we have shown.
Okay.
Okay, this we have shown. So can we do something? Can we just show them how to book one expense and timesheet entry?
Sure.
So you can see that within one
And
project
I'll take
file,
posted
you
action.
can, yeah, we can show. You can just open what is posted. a timesheet? You can show the lines, Naren. Hello? Hello? Okay, I think the net is stuck. Hello, Naren? Hello? Okay, I will take the question and answer. I hope all of you can hear. Hello? Hello, Naren? Gentlemen, I think there is a small issue and we are stuck up in between. Naren, are you there? Okay, I can take questions in the meanwhile. So if any one of you can ask any questions, I'll be able to handle it now. That there's a small issue there. Any questions at this point? You can unmute and talk. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hi Venkat, I think we've lost Naren.
Okay, I can take questions. So if anybody has a question right now, we can answer that. So all the attendees are available, right?
Yes.
Any
so,
question?
you can navigate to the Q&A block.
Hello?
Yeah. So you can navigate to the Q&A block.
Yeah. But can you ask whether there is any question? I'm asking that whether there's any question from anybody.
The participants can hear that.
Okay. Any questions so far?
Yes, there is one question.
Okay.
Yeah. Can you check the Q&A block?
Yeah. There is one. Yeah, I can see many questions. One question is, we can assign multi-resources to one task in WBS. The answer is yes. You can. This is asked by Mr. Karthikeyan. Okay. Can we assign multiple resources to one task in WBS? Yes. It is simply comma. You can put comma, select one resource, and then go to the second. Put comma and put the second resource. Okay. Next. Any question?
Venkat, I can show that if you want.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Fine.
Okay, you are back, right? Okay. So can you go to that report, Naren?
Yeah, sure.
Or you were in timesheet, right? Can you show one timesheet entry and one expense journal? Okay.
Sure.
Any other question, please?
I said that I will show the posted entries.
Yeah. So you can go to the lines and show. Right. So you can see that the timesheet entry has gone into the system project wise, okay, with activity number. So this activity number is the basis on which cost is collected, okay, and this cost goes to the project cost, and you can specify the number of hours which he has worked, and based on his cost in the resources master, it will allocate the cost into the job. Yeah, same way expenses can be booked through the system. And item cost also. So this is where he has put in the expenses entry. So for example, you might have a traveling expense, or you might have a consultancy expense, or you might have any other expenses for a particular project which is chargeable to the project, and you can do that. Now if you see down, there is a green color called budget check passed, okay, which is very critical in the sense that if the budget check is not passed, you will not be able to post it to the project cost, and it might need a higher approval, or it might be outright rejected. Okay, so the budgeting, what we set at the initial phase for all the activities, is carried forward, and the system does a budget checking. Okay, fine. Naren, we have covered all the cycle, right?
Right, we covered everything.
Okay, we have covered everything. We can go into specific questions if somebody has a specific question.
Okay. So one question is that we can assign multi-resources to one task in WBS.
Yeah.
We can show that part.
You can show that, yeah.
So you get a lot of these resources here. So you can select multiple resources and assign it. So more than one resources will get assigned here in this line. I'll just expand this and you can see this. You
Yeah,
can see it here. Multiple resources can be assigned here in the same WBS line.
right. Okay, can you show them any inquiries, reports? I think we had one cost control tab. Can you go to the
Right.
cost control tab, Naren? That was having a lot of controls, yeah. Yeah, cost control, yeah. Yes. Calculate. Okay, this will tell you what is the deviation line wise for against each of the original budget and deviation. Now note that there is a column called committed cost. The third one is called as a committed cost, which is very interesting. This committed cost is coming, okay, for example, you have raised a purchase requisition for a project, okay, and it will take 1 month for the purchase requisition to be approved, and purchase order to be raised, and the goods to be received, and the cost gets booked into the project. But for the project manager, as soon as the purchase requisition is raised and approved, that cost is committed. This is called as commitment accounting. The system tracks the committed cost as well, meaning as soon as a purchase requisition for a project is raised for say 10,000 grams, that 10,000, once it is approved, it comes into the committed cost. Maybe the item will come later and you make a goods receipt note and book it later, but for the project manager, he knows that that 10,000 is already incurred. So this way, it makes sure that any purchase order not yet released also goes into the budgeting and control. Okay, can you go back, Naren? Yeah, same cost control, you can go.
You see invoice control?
No, you can show project budget balances. Yeah, right. So you can see this variation, okay, and original budget, approved budget, consumed budget, remaining budget, and commitment. Okay, all this can be seen here in one snapshot, even for the subcontracting activity. The same way, there is a tab for revenue just next to that. Yeah. Yes. So the idea behind the whole product is twofold: to execute the project on time using time management software, which is MS Project, which is a separate activity, and to control the cost and revenue of the project using this software, which is a complete solution for procurement, inventory management, and projects. So I think we are on time. We have covered all the points and we are ready for more questions. And we have an inquiry screen with contact details. Okay. So this we can share with all the attendees. So any inquiries or any questions you can either send to this or somebody else. Any new questions, Naren? Go to question and answer session. Q&A tab. No more questions. Okay, Zaid, we have completed before time. Hello.
Yeah.
We have completed before time, no, Naren?
Yeah.
So that's fine.
If there are any more
Amrit,
questions,
you have any? Yeah, I don't think there are any more questions.
Guys, I think there are questions.
Okay, good. Do
Can you
you
s-
have any difference in Dynamics 365 Cloud? No. There is absolutely no difference between cloud and on-premise features. It's exactly the same, except that the architecture is different. Obviously, on-premise has got its own advantage in the sense that on-premise data is secure and it is within you. And 365 on cloud is equally secure, but the only difference is that it is on the cloud, Microsoft Azure cloud. Microsoft Azure has recently have a cloud center in Middle East in Dubai itself. So the data is in one of the servers lying in Dubai, and the functionality wise there is absolutely no difference. Only the architecture. Okay.
there is one more question. I think how to resolve WBS upload from MS Project.
Okay, this we have to separately take it up with Karthikeyan. Mr. Karthikeyan, after this demo, we can contact you because that needs some setup and trial. Sorry, not trial, setup and upload. So we need to work with you. You can give us a WBS file, MS Project file, and we can upload that for you. And we can demonstrate how that can be done. Naren, we can note down this, Mr. Karthikeyan. We'll get back to him. Yeah. Okay.
He's asking for on-site version.
What if there is a change in the project quotation? Will the old quotation be amended or we will have a new quotation? Okay. Quotations can be amended any number of times. The same quotation will get amended. The system will maintain multiple version 1, 2, 3. You can have as many versions as possible, and you will finalize one final version which can be converted into a project. So multiple versions are maintained in the system automatically. Yeah. What is the next question?
How is estimation and elimination process?
Okay, we didn't actually show you how a WBS is created. Okay, usually the WBS is created by the estimation department. Okay, we can we do one thing, Naren? Can
Yeah,
we
sure.
create one quick project and open one WBS and show a couple of lines entry? We still have 9 minutes. What is elimination you are talking about, Biju? Can you explain in detail? You can unmute and explain. What do you mean by elimination process? Is it intercompany elimination you are talking about? Yeah, so this is the work breakdown structure, or what we call as a estimation.
You want to talk about this Microsoft project from here? This entire WBS gets integrated with the Microsoft projects.
Yeah, that we can do, but that we will take it up with Karthikeyan separately. Now we will show one quick WBS. This is the process of estimation. So he is adding a new line. Yeah, so we can have a complete phase called estimation. Put it under planning. Yeah, you can put couple of activities also under that, Naren.
I'll do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can see that you can have expenses. No. Just wait there, Naren. Just wait there. On the down arrow, left, down arrow, expenses, down arrow. Yeah. Above. Yeah. So you can see that there are you can have estimation for hours, fees.
You want to see this part? Okay, fine.
Yeah. Yes, fees, hour, expenses, and item. These are the usual classifications by which you make the estimation. Okay, hour, expenses, and item. Fee is for revenue. So if you are going to book the revenue line, then you put the fees as the transaction type. Other than that, you can use hour for for time sheet related, for resources, expenses, and item. Okay, now when you select hour, expenses, or item, the cost can be predefined in the item master, or you can give the cost here. Okay, or if you already have an estimated cost, we can download at this point of time. Of course, we need to create a button for download. So if you have that all these costs in an Excel, we can download it directly at this point. So that's how you do the estimation. Yeah, any other questions? Yeah, I think there are a few more questions. How negative variations are handled at project quotation, as in turn several PO might undergo negative variation. Okay, negative variation in project quotation. At the time of quotation, I am not very clear what do you mean by negative variation. Are you talking about reducing the quote value? If you are talking about reducing the quote value, yes, you can revise the quote value plus or minus. Okay, but at the time of project quotation, we will not make any PO. A PO will be made only after the project execution starts, right? So after the project execution starts, whatever is the finalized project quotation, whatever is the value, those gets converted into items in the project file, and you will be raising the purchase order only for the actual value. So the PO will not go into negative variation. Yeah, project forecast and budget we can explain. Okay, see, project forecast is for usually done for projects with a longer duration than one financial year. Okay, so forecast runs parallelly along with the budget, but usually forecast doesn't have a financial year restriction. That is number one. Number two, you can have a forecast for an entire company, meaning you can have one forecast under which you can have multiple projects coming in. For example, for the company as a whole, if you want to know the total budget of expenses for, let us say, 5 projects. Let's say there is a company A, company is doing 5 projects. The total cost to be incurred for all the 5 projects together is 10 million. Then the only place where you can see this 10 million total cost of all projects budget combined is in the forecast. So forecast can cut across all the projects, all the project budgets, project file. So the company can plan a cash flow based on the forecast. Meaning, for the entire company, I need 50 million cash for the coming month. So that you can achieve only if you have a concept called as a forecast. Otherwise, you will have to go to the individual project budget, run the cash flow and consolidate it. So a forecast is a higher level concept than a budget. Okay, we can individually take it up with Mr. Ibrar and explain to him. Naren, you can note down one Mr. Ibrar and other one is Mr. Karthikeyan
Okay.
and Vijay Kumar. These three people we can individually contact maybe tomorrow and we can have a one-to-one session.
Sure.
Yeah, any other questions, gentlemen? Okay, I think we are done. We have only 3 more minutes. I hope this 1 hour was useful for you people, and we hope that you will get in touch with us and we will individually contact each one who have attended. Many thanks for spending your valuable time. I hope I was able to explain with clarity how this works. Obviously, in a 1 hour session, we don't have time to create the entire sequence in the software and take you through. That will take a minimum of 2 to 3 hours. So we have used examples of what we have already created and ran through that. I hope it was useful, and we would love to get feedback from you and also be in touch with you. Zaid, I hand it over to you, so you can continue from this point, and you can contact them. We can contact them subsequently. Yeah, Zaid. Hello. Hello. Zaid, Amrit, can you call Zaid? We are done. Naren, any other points? I think we are done, right?
Yeah, we are done.
Mr. Biju has not answered the point, what he means by elimination process. I mean, I'm assuming if he is talking about intercompany elimination, yes, the system does intercompany elimination, multiple company transactions, and if the transactions are booked at intercompany profit, it will eliminate the intercompany profit automatically. So if that is the elimination you are talking about, yes, it is available. Okay. Zaid? Thank you, gentlemen. So we will call it off, and I have received one comment from Vijay Kumar Satyamurthy. Thank you. It was a useful presentation. Many thanks, Mr. Vijay Kumar. We will get in touch with you soon, and we will see how we can take it forward. I hope all of you enjoyed this 1 hour, and we will close the session now. Zaid, you can stop recording, and we can close the session exactly 11:30. Okay. Bye.